That read aloud poem Nine Gold Medals today. Now I will do half lesson, and then Miss Wendy will do the other half lesson, asking questions about this poem. So please listen carefully, okay? And please get ready. You will need a pen and a notebook for this lesson. You don't need any handouts, so just a pen and a notebook. If you can please get ready quickly, and we will begin. Now I'm going to read this poem to you today, and I'm going to show you a video, and hopefully you can understand a little bit more about this poem, and then Miss Wendy will ask some questions about the poem. Okay. Now, first of all, just quickly looking at this, coming soon. So we have been talking a lot about Olympics. So Tokyo 2020, it's coming soon. We're getting excited, and hopefully it will go ahead. And hopefully the coronavirus will get better and everyone will be back to normal. So even Naruto and Sasuke are getting ready for the games. Okay, so just added something fun for you to have a look at. Soccer, getting ready. Many athletes are training every day. Now, so we looked at Summer and Winter Olympics. So a question of the day. Do you like Summer Olympics or Winter Olympics more? So please open a notebook and choose one and write down 2 sentences. Now, I would probably choose Winter Olympics because I love snow. So the last time I saw snow was in Changshu, actually, a couple of years ago. And I really loved it because before that, I haven't seen snow for 15 years, a long time. And I love ice skating and building snowmen and skiing and stuff like that. So it's something that I would really love to do more. Sometimes I go ice skating in Wuxi. They have ice skating ring there, but it is much more difficult to do winter sports in some areas of the world than summer sports. So it's more convenient. It's easier to try summer sports than winter. So please think about it, and you can pause this lesson and write down which one would you like and why. So give me some reasons. Okay, now we are going to move on, and we are going to talk a little bit about Special Olympics. Now, our poem is about Special Olympics. Special Olympics is an international organization dedicated to empowering individuals with intellectual disabilities to become physically fit, productive, and respected members of society through sports, training, and competition. I think we looked a little bit about Special Olympics on our first lesson, and Special Olympics is very important because people want to participate and do sports, but not everyone is able to do the things and run fast, and some people have problems. So Special Olympics is for people that have some issues with their body. Okay, they have a broken leg, they can't run very fast, they have wheelchair, they have broken bones and other things. Okay, so it's very important, okay, that we have this organization, that everyone can participate, okay, and everyone has a chance to try. Now, the poem Nine Gold Medals is written by David Roth. Okay, he also actually sang this song. In this poem and song, we can find some human values, compassion and empathy, and we'll have a look at this later. The poem is based on the story of 9 differently able athletes who participated in Special Olympics. They have trained themselves for the racing event with the hope of winning gold medal. So it's about 9 athletes participating in Special Olympics and trying to win gold medal. Okay, and it's called 9 gold medals. Now, let's listen to the poem first, and then we will look at the video explaining a little bit more, and hopefully we can understand. Okay, 9 gold medals. The athletes had come from all over the country to run for the gold, for the silver and bronze. Many weeks and months of training, all coming down to these games. The spectators gathered around the old field to cheer on all the young women and men. The final event of the day was approaching. Excitement grew high to begin. The blocks were all lined up for those who would use them. the 100-yard dash, and the race to be run. These were 9 resolved athletes in back of a starting line, poised for the sound of a gun. The signal was given, the pistol exploded, and so did the runners, all charging ahead, but the smallest among them, he stumbled and staggered and fell to the asphalt instead. He gave out a cry in frustration and anguish. His dreams and his efforts all dashed in the dirt. But as sure as I'm standing here telling the story, the same goes for what next occurred. The 8 other runners pulled up on their heels, the ones who had trained for so long to compete. One by one, they all turned around and went back to help him, and brought the young boy to his feet. Then all the 9 runners joined hands and continued the 100-yard dash, now reduced to a walk, and the banner above that said Special Olympics could not have been more on the mark. That's how the race ended, with 9 gold medals. They came to the finish line holding hands still, and the standing ovation and 9 beaming faces said more than these words ever will. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning of this poem. Now, the athletes had come from all over the country to run for the gold, for the silver and bronze. Many weeks and months of training, all coming down to these games. Now, this first verse talks about different people from all over the country coming together to win gold, silver, or bronze. So there's 3 types of gold medals you can win. It also talks about how much they train. Okay, so hopefully we can understand the first verse. Now, next one, the spectators, and you can see the spectators. These spectators are actually cheering for the Beijing 2022 when Beijing got selected to host these games. So spectators are people that are watching the events and the games. So they're all being happy and cheering for the runners. Okay, so this verse is about people watching them run and cheering them on, saying, "Jayo, Jayo, keep going." Now, hopefully I said that right. Okay, next one. The next verse is about how they're all lining up behind the line to begin the race, and they're all waiting for the sound of the gun. Okay, getting prepared, waiting for that sound, and hopefully we can all start when the sound and the gun explodes. Next one. So the signal was given, the pistol exploded. So the gun made a sound, and so did the runners, all charging ahead. But the smallest among them, he stumbled and staggered and fell to the asphalt instead. So everyone begins the race, but one person falls on the ground. Okay, as you can see, I just picked one of the pictures from Rio 2016, falls to the ground. Now what happens next? He gave out a cry in frustration and anguish. His dreams and his efforts all dashed in the dirt. But as sure as I'm standing here telling the story, the same goes for what next occurred. So what happens in this verse is that this person is crying. Obviously, he's very disappointed and sad. He trained for so long. Okay, and now he fell down, he had an accident, and he cannot go on. Okay, he is very upset. Now what happens next? The 8 other runners pulled up on their heels, the ones who had trained for so long to compete. One by one, they all turned around and went back to help him, and brought the young boy to his feet. So what happens next is all the other 8 runners come to help this person on the ground. Okay, they, instead of continuing their race, they stop and they come and help him, which is a beautiful thing to do. It shows kindness, it shows caring. Okay, this is something that's very important. Then they all come to help him. Then all the 9 runners joined hands and continued the 100-yard dash, now reduced to a walk, and the banner above that said Special Olympics could not have been more on the mark. That's how the race ended, with 9 gold medals. They came to the finish line, holding hands still, and the standing ovation and 9 beaming faces said more than these words ever will. Now these are 2 paragraphs, 2 verses joined together. So what happened at the end is that all the runners were holding hands, and they walked to the finish line. Instead of running, they stopped competing. They all crossed the line together. And that's how the race ended. So 9 gold medals, they all won gold medals. Okay, we all finished at the same time. Because in this case, winning was not the most important thing, guys. It's helping the person to get up off the ground and helping them finish the race together. Okay, and this is the Special Olympics banner. Okay, it's basically the same as the similar to this one, but this is for Special Olympics. Okay. Um, Now let's have a look at this video about this poem, and I will talk a little bit more so you can understand. Nine gold medals. Sports is not only about winning medals. It's in this poem, the poet David Roth has represented the idea of empathy and how human values are as important as the spirit of competition. In Special Olympics, differently able persons who have some problem in a particular part of the body participate in various sports events. The contestants put a lot of effort for months and hope to win a medal. The spectators are excited and encourage the contestants in the last event of the day. Okay, so as you can see, you can win a gold medal, you can win silver medal, or a bronze medal. The 100-yard race is about to begin in this poem, and the athletes are ready to run. They take positions and begin to run after the pistol is fired. But one of the athletes falls down while running and cries in frustration. His dream of winning the medal is broken. When the remaining 8 contestants saw him fall, instead of continuing the race, came to the help of their fellow contestant. Everyone wanted to win, but they forgot their dream and came forward to help the athlete to his feet. Then all the 9 contestants walked hand in hand to the finish line. The audience is moved with this exemplary behavior and stood up to clap. All the 9 contestants are considered as winners, and all of them are given gold medals. This is because they have shown empathy. Now, what's empathy? Empathy is the capacity to understand another person's experience from his point of view. So empathy makes us understand the other person and how they feel. Empathy encourages us to have positive behavior towards people who are in need. The poem shows that empathetic behavior is applauded by all. Okay? Alright. Now, so this poem really, as I said here, shows human values, compassion and empathy. Okay, so it shows how these athletes cared for each other. Okay, and how they helped each other. Now I'm gonna read this to you one more time, and then Miss Wendy will do the questions. So hopefully you can you understood more about this poem. I'll read it one more time. Please listen and think about a little bit more about this poem and what it is about. The athletes had come from all over the country to run for the gold, for the silver and bronze. Many weeks and months of training, all coming down to these games. The spectators gathered around the old field to cheer on all the young women and men. The final event of the day was approaching. Excitement grew high to begin. The blocks were all lined up for those who would use them. The 100-yard dash and the race to be run. These were 9 resolved athletes in back of the starting line, poised for the sound of a gun. The signal was given, the pistol exploded, and so did the runners, all charging ahead. But the smallest among them, he stumbled and staggered and fell to the asphalt instead. He gave out a cry in frustration and anguish. His dreams and his efforts all dashed in the dirt. But as sure as I'm standing here telling the story, the same goes for what next occurred. The 8 other runners pulled up on their heels, the ones who had trained for so long to compete. One by one, they all turned around and went back to help him, and brought the young boy to his feet. Then all the 9 runners joined hands and continued, the 100-yard dash now reduced to a walk. And the banner above that said, Special Olympics, could not had been more on the mark. That's how the race ended. With 9 gold medals, they came to the finish line, holding hands still. And the standing ovation and 9 beaming faces said more than these words ever will. So this is the poem. If you want to try and also say this at home, you can practice your reading, okay? That would be good. Now this is different to a story. It has verses. Hopefully you could understand more from this, and Miss Wendy will do the questions review. Okay guys, goodbye and take care, and I will see you soon.